Hi, this is the first edition of Philippine Cowpinoy Trails. My name is Rich, and this is my wife Elma, and we are the Dickies. We're from Longview, Texas, and moved here to Longview back in July of 2016. Before that, we lived in Dallas, and then before that, Houston, and we married in Chicago about, 4 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So why Cowpinoy?
Well, Cowpinoy is kind of a play on words. It's not really a real word, and it's not a real word in Tagalog, but I'm a big Cowboys fan, and I'll show you our media room here in this clip a little bit later. But you can see that I've got a lot of Cowboy stuff up here, been to a lot of Cowboy games, so I'm a very big Cowboy fan, have been all my life. I was born in Iowa, and even then I was a Cowboy fan. So that's where we get the Cowboys,
Okay,
right?
I gotcha. You're not Pinoy, you're
What does
American.
Pinoy stand for?
Pinoy is kind of, you are in common called a guy. Pinoy.
Right.
Because I am a Pinay, so
Kind of
it
a
means common name, like you're a girl because you're a Pinay. I cannot call you
And
Pinay.
I'm a Pinoy,
Yeah.
so I'm a boy.
You're not Pinoy.
So that's why
you're
we put-
American.
Long story short, we put the two words together and came up with Cowpinoy.
Right.
I've had that as my fantasy football team name for the last 3 years, and everyone knows me as Cowpinoy. So
Yeah, you win a lot.
well, I have won a lot, but that's a side note. I'm a Filipino way to call it Cowboys. But my wife here is from Cagayan de Oro, Philippines, and I didn't meet her in the Philippines. I met her in Chicago, of all things.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not an order bride.
Not a mail order bride. No.
Yep.
No. We met in Chicago when I was the director of strategy for appliances for Sears,
Yep.
and we started dating up there.
Yeah, the year that I arrived here, my mom petitioned. So I'm waiting for that petition for 12 years.
She waited 12 years to be petitioned and get her visa to come into the U.S. And
Yep.
when did you get to the U.S.?
2011.
January, right?
Mm-hmm. That's the year that we meet each other.
Right. So she came in January of 2011, and we met each other in September of 2011.
Yeah.
Yeah. Been married almost 4 years. Coming up 4 years here on February. Oh, let me see. What date is it? 16th. We got married on her birthday.
Uh-oh.
So that way I can remember her birthday and our anniversary. So, Philippine, obviously from my lovely Filipina, Cowboys or Cowpinoy, and then trails. And why do we call it trails? And why do we call it trails? Well, basically this blog is about getting ready to go to the Philippines and start our second life in Cagayan de Oro.
When you get retired, right?
Right. So between now and the time that I get retired, we're going to make some videos about where we go, things we do. We like to vacation a lot here in the U.S. We like to go to California, Vegas. We just went to Key West in September. We're going to go back down to Florida here in January. We're going to go snow skiing in California probably at the end of January and February, before the snow goes away. We do a lot of different things, but we live within a budget, and our budget includes doing quite a bit of vacationing. So we're going to actually, share some of those videos and sites with our friends and our family, and hopefully this blog will allow us to make more friends and maybe even get involved with the expat community over there in the Philippines. I have gotten a little bit addicted to watching the YouTube. I like watching that YouTube, don't I?
You are.
Yeah, I do. I watch all the expat videos, but most of those videos are about people trying to stay on a certain budget and showing you the beautiful parts of the Philippines. I'm not doing this blog for money. I'm really going to try to keep the advertising off it also, because we're doing this to make friends and to share advice. We can talk about the Philippines, we can talk about business, we can talk about what my experiences were when I was single, before I met Elma, and I went to the Philippines 7 times before I met Elma. So I knew that I loved the culture and I loved the people, and luckily I actually found my Filipina in Chicago, of all places. But I'm actually going to share with you what my retirement plan is financially, and how Elma stays within our budget. Elma is a stay-at-home homemaker, helps keep me in line. So we really don't have much to say about her work, but she does have a beautiful home, keeps it really nice and neat. And we're going to share some of her family and other items in the future vlogs. But the main reason I'm doing this is to actually show people that you don't have to move to the Philippines and try to live on $1,000 a month. Is it possible? Yes. Do a lot of the bloggers that are, giving their opinions and viewpoints about their budgets live on $1,000 to $1,200? Sure. And God bless them. I'm very impressed with the fact the way they can stretch a dollar. I've never been really good about stretching the dollar, but I've also been fortunate to be in some pretty good paying jobs and not have to worry about it as much. So what I'm going to show you is our budget on how we're living our lives for the next 7 years before we retire and go to the Philippines. We're going to the Philippines because we love the country. And my wife, being from there and actually moving here when, what were you, 46? Shouldn't say a woman's age. But anyway, 45? Oh, okay. I'll blank that out. My wife moved here, as I said, in 2011, and she was there for a lot of years. As she said, 12 years just being petitioned by her mama and finally getting to come. But before that, she worked as a cosmetician salesperson in a local mall there. And we can talk about those malls, we can talk about all the other different things in the Philippines because she's lived there most of her life and has been here for 5 years. So,
But I come back to my country to retire.
That's right.
It's very nice to stay in, in your hometown, home country.
Yeah, I like the fact that we have a lot of relatives there. I can borrow their motorcycles.
Very
and
nice
get around.
weather.
Yeah, nice weather. A little warm, as everyone says on the channel, how hot it is. The average temperature is about 90, 92, something like that.
There's a time during when summertime, I'm sure it's kind of hot, but
humid because after the rainy season.
that's good for you. You stay in the hot, make you healthier because you go have sweating all the time.
Yeah. I want to show Americans that you can actually, use your Social Security and use your pension, use your money that you saved. My plan is to actually try to live on what I make off Social Security there, which between my Social Security and my pension will be around $3,000. But I'll have another $3,000 a month based on the investments and the earnings that we make on the income stream we have right now. So can you live like a king in the Philippines on $6,000 cash a month, especially if you have your house paid for it? Yes, absolutely. It will allow us to be able to help family and to be able to have lots of parties, which over there a party is a big fiesta where you have an open buffet and everybody just eats. Elma's family, she has 15 brothers and sisters. 9 of them I believe are still over there. 5 live in Chicago, and of course she lives down here in Texas. But when we go over there, we have big parties with cousins. One thing I learned about the Philippines is it's not just brothers and sisters. Everybody is a cousin. All the kids are raised by the whole group. It's kind of like a village raises a child.
Huge family.
Yeah, huge family. When we went over last year, we had the 3 swimming pools and a pig and all kinds of stuff that we provide. 50 or so, I don't know. That's the other thing. You can't tell who you invited to a party. I know I paid for so many to come into the 3 swimming pools, but the next thing I know, there's a ton of people there. And everybody's so friendly that you think that this guy you're talking to might be one of your brother-in-laws, and you find out, no, he just came to the park that day. And he's just eating your food and enjoying himself, and hey, it's just the way they are. They're just super friendly, nobody's shy. Food's on the table, they're going to eat it. If you don't have any food and you happen to be walking down the street, they'll invite you to come in and have dinner with them. They don't even know who you are. Very unusual, and it's I grew up in the Midwest where people were super friendly. Farmers always had a lot of corn on the cob and tomatoes and stuff like that, and it wasn't uncommon for people to hand out extra tomatoes to all their neighbors. Neighbor across the street where I grew up, I lived with my grandmother for quite a few years while my dad was in Vietnam. My grandmother was in a wheelchair and she baked pies for a living, so we didn't have any money. but we would share our pies with other people, and she would sell them. Whatever she had left over, she would give away. And then the neighbors across the street, they'd give us eggs. They always had the milk, and I never could get used to that milk straight from a cow. But anyway, they'd give us eggs. Goldie, the next door neighbor, she always made way too many tomatoes and other different things. So I kind of lived and grew up in a community where everybody did share, and everybody was very friendly. It wasn't uncommon for me to go down to the nursing home down on the end of our street and play checkers and chess with the old men down there. I may not have had any money, but I sure learned a lot, and I heard a lot of stories from the old men down there that would play with me, and that's kind of what I want to do now. As part of this channel, I want to leave a legacy. I want to be able to answer questions for people, and I want to leave something for my sons. At this point, my sons are 30, 26 and a half, and the youngest one just turned 23. All three of them have gone through college. My third one is taking finals this week, as a matter of fact. I'll leave something for them so they can see it, they can review it, share it with their friends and their family. And then when I come back to the U.S., which I will, we're planning on coming back every year for at least a month. And I got a lot of friends, got a lot of family still here in the U.S. My two brothers live here. One lives up in St. Louis, and the other one lives right down here in Dallas. I want to be able to keep track of everybody and be able to come back once a year for about a month. But these videos and these blogs are a great way to communicate and show people what you're doing. And in the meantime, if you'd like to go ahead and ask me any questions about business or the Philippines, or how to get a fiancé visa, or how to what the cost of living looks like, and don't look at me like that with a fiancé visa. Yes, I did apply to get someone a fiancé visa several years ago, and oh, she's really scowling at me. And yes, it did get approved, but before she came, I broke it off. So that was probably one of the smartest things I ever did in my life, not let her come, because I ended up with my beautiful Elma.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Oh, really? So my email is cowpinoy@gmail.com. You spell it COWPINOY @gmail.com. Again, cowpinoy@gmail.com. COWPINOY @gmail.com. Send me notes. Ask me anything you'd like. One thing about this channel is I'm going to be pretty honest and pretty open. There may be a few things about the single life that I won't tell you about, but you know, most everything, I'm going to be 99% open and honest with everything. And then a store manager, and then later I became Walmart called on me, and it actually wasn't Walmart at the time, it was McLean, and they were servicing 4 supercenters with groceries. And went to work for McLean. They got bought out by Walmart, and so for the next 8 years I was kind of a quote McLean subsidiary of Walmart, and learned a lot about their way of doing business, and I was a buyer for them for a long time. As I said, about 8 years. Then I went into business for myself. I ran some movie theaters, had 7 movie theaters. I ran a cigarette advertising and marketing business for USA Cigarettes. Walmart was kind enough to put me in all their stores, and I was in about 4,000 convenience stores at the time. Really enjoyed working that business until the owners sold it, and I went to work for Circuit City as the district manager of Houston. I had about 12 stores down there. And then later I went to the regional office in Richmond, Virginia, where I was the business development manager for technology. So actually did a little bit of fire dog technology repair supervision, and did a lot of advertising and product development for the computers and other technology products. After that, went to work for when Circuit City went under in 2009. It became a really rough time for me, because it's really hard when you're making a very good living and all of a sudden your company goes bankrupt. Very, very difficult. So I worked for Radio Shack for a little bit, ended up in Temple outside of Austin, Texas. Then I went to San Diego, and then later I went to Hawaii, where I supervised 25 stores, and then worried that Radio Shack might go under. I was starting to see a trend here. I'm working for people that go under. I decided to go to another company I thought that might have difficulty but could need me, which was Sears. And I went to Chicago, Hoffman Estates, at the corporate office there when I was the director of strategy for appliances for Sears. I got a little worried that Sears might be going through a rough time because I saw a lot of people lose their jobs while I was there, and I decided to go work for Star Power Home Entertainment in Dallas and get back to Dallas. Great people, family organization. I had some health problems. We'll talk about that later because I am an open heart surgery survivor, and decided I wanted to get into just one store instead of supervising multiple stores like I was with Star Power. I applied and got a position, thank goodness, from Best Buy. So Best Buy has put me out here in Longview, which I really love the town. Talking about not having any traffic jams, not like Dallas. I can get to work in 3 or 4 minutes and work with a great group of people at the store and enjoy. So as I said, we can talk business. I've got a lot of stories about business. We can talk. I can't give out any financial numbers. I can't do anything that would jeopardize any type of confidentiality. But over the years, watching Kroger go through their KKR, corporate raider, takeover bids, watching Walmart absorb McLean, watching Radio Shack and even being part of Sears, watching the Walmart organization and how well they were run, running my own businesses like the movie theaters. I didn't even mention that back when I was at Kroger, I had a vending business and I had over 100 locations doing really good, side business. I've always been very, entrepreneurial. So I've had several businesses of my own. They've always been successful. Sold them, got out of them mainly because I'm trying to burn the candle at both ends. But have put a few friends in business with me, and those friends are probably watching this vlog and laughing at me why I'm doing this. But no, Cliff, I'm doing okay. I'm not crazy. So the whole reason for the channel is to share our ideas, share our memories, and share our upcoming vacations and events as we prepare to get ready for our what I consider to be a very huge life-changing event, moving to Cagayan de Oro. But luckily, I'm able to go there every year and spend, I can't take a lot of time off, but I'll spend 9 days over there. And Elma's been over 3 or 4 times the last three years for different reasons. But Elma's aware of the area, and she's shown me it, and all of her friends and relatives are really kind to me. We've got cousins that allow me to ride their motorcycles, so I get to know the town. Town's about 800,000. I think it's over 1 million now. They just got a new S&R store that it looks like it's a Costco. Even has Kirkland brands in it, so I'm happy because now it has Montana ribeye steaks and all the cheese and milk that I'm kind of used to here in the U.S. I understand it's expensive, according to the guys that are doing the vlogs, but the Philippines is growing. They've got the S&R store there in that town. There's all kinds of little sorry stores where you can pick up Mountain Dew or Pepsi whenever you need one. Water, yep, lots of water, iced tea. So anyway, this is our first video. I'm going to post it here in a little bit. It happens to be December 16th right now, but I'm going to post it after a couple weeks after I put a few other videos on there, and then we'll post, and hopefully you'll write to me if you subscribe. I'd love for you to subscribe so that I can actually see how many people are following this vlog. I'm not asking for any money or any type of contributions. That's not necessary, but I hope to make a lot of friends, and some of the expats that I've watched their videos on YouTube, I want to try to reach out to them, get to know them, maybe even visit their towns, and make some new friends in the Philippines. So when I get there, I know I'll be forming some clubs with expats and making sure that we got like golfing buddies to go play golf and go fishing and go traveling the Philippines. So we're going to sign off right now. My name is Rich, and this is
Alma.
And we are Philippine
Cowpinoy.
Cowpinoy Trails.
Bye.